Welcome to Dis-Cember 2025. I would have already done the background video showing you the background, but I'm proud of this. I need actual Disney steelbooks though. I think I might actually, because I'd use Marvel ones. I'm not doing any Marvel this year. But I don't just want the Funkos, you know. And as you can see, the film du jour, first film that we are looking at is what I said, taking a look at, or looking at, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The original one from 1937. You know, the classic. Something interesting happened, something weird happened when I was getting ready to set this up. I had set up that background, I put the Blu-ray in, it was on the menu, waiting, and that's when I realized, I have to do the update video after. I'm doing this the same day I did that update video, the post-Halloween Horror Month update video. I'm doing that the same day. Same shirt. But I wear like the same 4 shirts anyway, so. Anyway. So that's when I realized, oh crap, I forgot to do the update video. So I just set it aside and do it. And it was on the menu the whole time for Snow White. And then it froze up my Blu-ray player. Because I went to go watch it and it dimmed, but the menu was still there. And I'm trying to get it to, it wouldn't, I had to restart the Blu-ray player and do it. Then when I went to go watch it, it's like, do you want to watch it in this original 4.3? Or do you want Disney View? Disney View expands your experience. I'm like, it's going to stretch it out to fit the entire screen. No, it does not. It keeps it in the 4.3, but the sidebars change depending on where you, because it starts in the storybook thing. So it has a little, like a thing on the side, and then when they get to the castle, there's like drapes, and when in the forest, there's trees. It adapts to whatever the scene is. So, yes. And Snow White has always been, like I said with Cinderella, where it's a classic tale. There's really not much to say about it because it's a story that everyone knows so well, right? Like Cinderella. That's why I didn't review the first Cinderella, because it's something everyone's talked about. Everyone knows Cinderella, right? So I review the third one where they go travel through times and stuff, right? But I figured, since I'm doing the remake, look forward to that tomorrow, I ought to do the original. The original classic that Disney, for some reason, thought they had to change everything with. I've watched the Nostalgia Critics review on the new one. It seems like they just changed everything. I have a theory, and I'll get to that when I do the remake, because it has to do with the other remake I'm doing. I'm doing more remakes, but the other remake from this year that I'm doing, the Lilo and Stitch one, I'll talk about that when we get to the remake review for Snow White. But this one, I will say, yes, it's very dated. It's almost 100 years old. Actually, it's closer to almost 90 than it is 100. But, 2 years from now, it'll be 90. And 12 years from now, it'll be 100. So in 2037, this movie will be 100 years old. Think about that. Right? Now, it starts with some text that I've said in my Stephen King review for Maximum Overdrive. Why can't we have a voiceover? This is 1937. I can forgive it. But it basically tells a story. I don't know. Her father's dead or off to war or something. And she's being raised by the evil queen. Actually, let's go ahead. We'll go here. We'll see what the original Snow White. Okay, Alice won the match. Yay for them. Okay, let's see. Can I? You. German fairy tale. Okay. Alright. This was, of course, the first animated feature film by Walt Disney Pictures. So, there's that. It just says, having lost both her parents at a young age, Snow White is a princess living with her wicked and cold-hearted stepmother, the Queen. So, yeah. So you know what the plot is. Okay. I wasn't sure how that went, but yeah. So she's living with her stepmother, the Queen. She's singing songs to wells. For some reason, I always thought this was Someday My Prince Will Come, but that's not till after she meets because she starts singing the song. I'm like, this is not the song. Did they change it? So then I looked it up on YouTube, the song, and she's with the Dwarfs when she sings it. I'm like, oh, I always thought this was, because it made sense it would be here, right? But no. Here she sings some sort of song, and then the prince just so happens to show up. The prince, which has no name, like there are so many princes. A Prince Charming, and there's Prince Philip from Sleeping Beauty, and then you have. I always thought, oh, his name is Adam. No, that's the Beast's real name is Prince Adam. Right, there's Prince Eric. Prince Eric. So what's his name? Prince Steve? Prince William? That makes sense. No, apparently, I don't know if that's ever been officialized. His name is Prince Florian. William was taken? I don't know. And you think, well, maybe the remake will fix that. Yeah, there's no prince in the remake. Spoiler alert. Trying so hard not to go into a rant about the remake. Save that for the next video, Scotty. Save it. It's going to be so delicioso in the next video. Oh, you're gonna rip that one a new butthole. Say it. Yes, I am. I never wanted to rip a movie to shreds more than this movie. Anyway, so she's singing a song. The prince says, "Poof! Hello, I'm here." She's like, "Ah!" and runs away. She does. And so the queen goes to her magic mirror that answers the question. And, she's like, "Who is the fairest in all the land?" And she said, he says, you old bitch. No. She says, it's, Snow White is the fairest in the land. So she tells the huntsman, who is not Chris Hemsworth here, but she tells the huntsman, I'm going to talk about the huntsman in the remake. Tell you, I know everything about the remake, I just haven't watched it yet. I could do a whole review without watching it, but that wouldn't be fair, so I have to watch it. Anyway, she said to the huntsman to take her out to the middle of the woods and kill her, bring back her heart. But when he gets there, he's not able to do it. He cares too much, and he lets her run away. And in her place, he brings a pig's heart. Yeah, the heart of a pig. So, and you know what? For wanting to make sure that Snow White is gone, she takes forever to ask the mirror again when it's convenient to the plot, I guess. But she walks through the woods, and we get this pretty cool dream sequence, like a daydream nightmare sequence where she sees these spooky trees and stuff, but it's all in her head. Really? In this movie, it's all in her head. But, yeah. She comes across the cabin, and she just walks right in. Like that. I guess they didn't have locks back then. She just walks right in and finds, locks would have been very good for fairy tale stories. That Goldilocks bitch just showing up in the Three Bears house. somehow they don't eat her. That's the twist in the story. It's like, oh, she came in, she ate our porridge and slept in our beds. Why the fuck are we eating this bitch? You know, no, it's fine. She's just no. We eat porridge and not Goldilocks. I do like the Looney Tunes cartoon, Bugs Bunny, that one. But yeah, she shows up, and then we're gonna clean the house bit. Whistle while you work, and all the animals are there helping to clean. And just how are things getting cleaned if animals are got shit in their mouth? It's hard. It's hard to think of. It's really weird because they're cleaning the dishes and all this and everything, but that animals and stuff in the mouth. How is that getting clean? And meanwhile, we dig the whole way through. Dig in a mine, in a mine, in $1,000,000 shine. We dig. Yeah, they're working in the mines with the jewels and stuff, and yeah, and then it's time to go home. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. It's off. It's home from work. We go. It's home from work and off to work. Hi ho. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. Yes, then they get home. Our 7 dwarfs here. Sleepy, Doc, Dopey, Sneezy, Happy, Grumpy, and Bashful. All of them which start with E except for Doc and Bashful. Docky? Bashy? Bashyful. No, yes. Each with their own little quirk. Grumpy is always a pain in the eat. Grumpy always has to stick up his ass. Happy's always happy. Doc mixes his words. Bashful is shy. Sneezy sneezes. Sleepy is always sleepy. And Dopey can't talk. Let me repeat that again. Dopey can't talk. One more time. Dopey can't talk. I think I should say it one more time. Just Dopey can't talk. He screams sometimes, I noticed in this, but he doesn't talk. Which is weird, because I said he's never tried to talk, but he screams. But he doesn't talk. He doesn't talk. He doesn't talk! So they go home, and they find Snow White sleeping in their beds. And like, oh! And she's like, they're like, hey, what happened to all our dishes? I didn't laugh at this. Someone stole our dishes. I didn't steal them. They hid them in the cupboard. Hid them in the cupboard. No, they go in the cupboard. Everything's clean. So yes, so now they have Snow White. She's scared at first, and they're happy. So she's just gonna stay. They recognize. I didn't realize this. They recognize her as the princess. She's like, Snow White, the princess. I'm like, oh. I will say it does sort of lag a bit. Like, I've never been the biggest fan of the hand washing song. Sure, when you're a kid, that's funny. You know. And if you're watching this with your kids, you can do the belly thing when you do, tickle the bellies, you know. Tickle their bellies. I said it wrong. But if you're an adult, grown-ass man like me watching this, you're just like, yeah, can we get to the next part? When does she show up with the apple? I mean, right? And they have to wash their hands before they eat, which is a rule we had in our house, which we don't enforce anymore somehow. But growing up, we had to. But, I don't know, my mom grew out of it, I don't know. I don't know. If I'm at home by myself, I don't wash my hands. If I'm in a public place, I'll do it then. You know, you work and stuff, you gotta do that. But I'm at home. You know, it's just me here. You know, yeah. So yeah, life is a happy, and this is where she sings. Well, first of all, we get the yodel song. Yeah, the yodel song. And then she sings the "Someday My Prince Will Come" song. And she dreams about the romance. So then the evil queen, she goes, finally, halfway through the damn movie, she decides to finally ask this mirror that she should have asked right away. Who's the fairest in the land? He's like, I told you before. Snow White. What? She's not dead? So, excuse me. So, instead, now she decides she has to set up this plan that she knows that because this mirror just tells her where Snow White is. She's okay. I am going to give her a poison apple, but I need a disguise. And I need to change my voice and how I look to look like an evil hag. She uses this. Want to note, she does this pretty quickly without a song. Yeah, she turns into the old hag, and then she goes into the woods. She waits till the 7 dwarfs go off to work. You know, hi ho, it's off to work we go. Shouldn't they be saying bye ho? Never mind. It's a joke. Anyway, but yeah, they go to work, and so something I also forgot. The animals somehow know that that's the evil queen and is trying to kill her. This super powerful disguise, and animals can figure it out. And animals are smart. I guess maybe it's the scent. I guess that would make sense, right? But she shows up and she's like, "Oh, you making pies, eh?" And she's like, "Yes, gooseberry pies." It's a gooseberry. Oh, apple pie, better. It's not like an old man or an old lady, but anyway. She's like this one. And so after the animals like try to rip her to pieces, Snow White's like, no, leave her alone, leave her alone, leave her alone. And so she eats the apple, but not yet because the animals decide we're gonna go tell the dwarves. And they run all the way to the mines, and Grumpy riding a deer made me laugh my ass up. We can't get her, and he's on. Yeah, but they're not in time because she eats the apple and she dies. Because it's not really a death. Because, like, a sleeping death is what she calls it. So she's not really dead. She's just asleep. Yeah. And so the text comes back up. Why wasn't there a narrator? I understand this was the first animated film, but it should have been a narrator, right? Back then, I guess they just had text stuff. I don't know. But it was months had passed, and they decided they couldn't bury her, so they just kept her in a glass case with gold on the side. And just like, yeah, that would be fine for like the first month, and then all of a sudden, it's gonna get, or she's gonna start to decay, and the flies, and it's in a glass case, but she's gonna stink if she was dead. I'm just saying. So they just sit out there and mourn her, right? Oh, I forgot. They actually chase the evil queen off. Very simple ending here. Not convoluted. Not we gotta have a big fight or a war. No. Just a simple, they run her off the hill and she falls down to her death. That's it. Or off a cliff or whatever. Hill. Mountain. That's what I'm trying to say. And she dies. And, yeah. No big deal made. Right? Quick and easy. Fall off a cliff. Or mountain, whatever. Fall off a mountain. That sort of thing. And so they're mourning Snow White for like the 65th day or something. I don't know. And magically, here comes the prince. Somehow. I've never been able to figure out how the hell he knew. However, I do want to point out that when she goes to eat the apple, the evil queen witch lady says it's a magic wishing apple. And she wishes for her true love. So, maybe the evil queen done messed up, and it was a wishing apple. And part of that wish was her having a sleeping death. And magically, the prince showed up. I don't know. This ending has always been quick and easy. Because, like, he kisses her, she wakes up, and she's like, bye, I got prince and money now, don't need you, bye. Literally, she's going, bye, bye, after he wakes her up, and it's just fine, and they're like, oh, yeah. We know what happens afterward, though. The queen's brother shows up, wants to get revenge. He turns the prince into a Goomba, and tries to kill her, but she runs away and gets with the dwarf elves. But they're, the cousins to the dwarves or whatever, and they gotta go get the kingdom back from the queen's brother. That sequel. You know what I'm talking about, right? Some of you are like, eh? Happily Ever After. Filmation made a sequel to Snow White. Kinda. It was a sequel to the story of Snow White, not this one. Kind of like Pinocchio and the Emperor of the Night was the sequel to Pinocchio, but not the Disney Pinocchio, the story Pinocchio, right? So both of them are just rehashes with a different coat of paint. It says Seven Dwarfs, you have the Dwarf Elves. The Evil Queen is Evil Queen's brother. That sort of thing. And then the prince is a Goomba the whole time. I don't know what to call that thing. But, yeah. There you have it. Snow White. Pretty simple story, actually. Pretty simple story. Pretty simple. Shouldn't be that hard to do justice to. Shouldn't be able to mess it up at all. The only way someone could mess this up is if they purposely change things for the worse. And they knew that it was going to make things worse, but they still did it because they couldn't help themselves. So, for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, I'm going to give it a very high. Pretty good. This is a classic with the capital C. Sure, some of the stuff hasn't aged. I will say, my freezer is peeing again. I will say that the HD restoration, even at 4.3 with the weird thingies on the side, looked really good. The animation looked really good. It's still 4.3. It's like when they remaster them. I equal it to Batman the Animated Series, which looks really good remastered. And compare this to the Blu-ray for Scooby-Doo. This is 1937. Scooby-Doo came out in 1969. This looks better than what's supposed remaster of Scooby-Doo on Blu-ray. Doesn't look like they've remastered anything on that. I'm just saying. This looks better than the Speed Racer Blu-ray, also in 4.3 and supposedly remastered. I'm just saying. Yes. So, what are your thoughts on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? In the comments, so you should like, share, and subscribe, and join me tomorrow. And I get to rip and remake the new asshole. Oh, it's gonna be so cathartic. Ooh, I can't wait. Until then, thank you for watching. I've been Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.